Mike here, healthcare worker in New York City, member of Left Voice, down here in Brooklyn at one of the many protests going on today to call for justice for those murdered by the racist police. We've been out here nightly, every single night we've been out. We've been seeing how the police, during the day are peaceful. They let people march, but by night they're beating people. They're cracking down on peaceful protesters. They're attacking reporters. We've been seeing that firsthand. The police claim to protect the public, but it's very clear that they don't. It's very clear that they're here to protect the rich and capital. They more and more, even though they say they're here to protect the public, they don't even wear masks. Half the time the police aren't even wearing masks. Healthcare workers have been asking them at these protests to put masks on. They've been completely disrespectful. They've called us pieces of shit. They've tried to attack us, tried to hit us with batons. It's very clear that the police are here just to crack down on these types of protests. More and more, police are now posing as cabs, attacking people with their bikes, stealing people's bikes. They're clearly trying to crack down on these protests that are calling attention to this racist capitalist system that we have in place currently. There's all this in the mainstream corporate media. There's a lot of discussion, concern around, is COVID going to spread because of these types of protests? And all we have to say about that is people wouldn't have to be out here to protest like this if it weren't for the racist police, an institution that is racist at its core since its founding on slave patrols. And people wouldn't have to be out here if there wasn't a racist economic system that has been brutalizing people and killing people. So people are out here calling attention to the murder of black and brown bodies in our society and how this racist system is a threat to public health. More and more of these protests, what we're seeing is different ways to co-opt it. Earlier today, there was a vigil for George Floyd, and at that vigil, we saw police there handing out masks, taking a knee. We saw some of even the organizers trying to tell people to be peaceful and respectful to people like the police. And it's more and more a way to try to co-opt this movement because the movement is getting very, very dangerous to people in power. So they're making more and more of an effort to try to co-opt that movement. We see people saying things like they're going to institute this bill or that bill as if that's going to solve the problem, or people just need to get out and vote. New York is a blue state. We have Democrat Cuomo, Democrat de Blasio. They're the ones who have instituted these policies. They're the ones that have pushed the curfew. They're the ones that have continued to allow police to attack protesters under the cover of dark. They're the ones that have, under their leadership, have allowed the police, the racist NYPD, to continue brutalizing people. The change is not going to come through voting. The change is not going to come through just getting to the ballot box. That's not going to do it. We need an actual movement of people. We need to grow these types of protests into coalesce them into a movement of workers and the working class to actually resist these racist systems. We need our unions to actually step up and to demand that there's systemic change. Healthcare workers have recently put out a statement calling out the racist police violence and the racist economic system with concrete demands. We need unions to take up those demands, and we need unions to actually mobilize their workplaces to put wrenches into the gears of capital and to actually hit the racist economic system where it hurts. We need the unions to push to not collaborate with groups like the police union. The police union is not even a union. It's just a coalition, a group to protect murderers. We need our unions to actually step up, push police out of our unions. The change is never going to come through voting. What we need is a movement in the streets like this. We need people to keep the pressure on, and we need people to call out the racist economic system that's at the core of this, while also calling out the racist police brutality that makes the conditions safe for that system to keep exploiting people.